Sheffield's underground scene's never been like a massive underground scene.
It's never been amazing for clubs.
You hear a lot about Manchester because they just had a couple of really legendary nights, and now there's no real mentioning of Sheffield.
Nobody would travel to go out here. There were only a couple of club nights.
And it's always been do your own thing here, you know, get a warehouse, do it up.
I think in Sheffield there always needs to be a little bit of competition.
It's either been really big clubs for like big student nights or nothing.
I think Sheffield growing up as like a late teenager, early 20s, it was quite rubbish. You know, compared to Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, we didn't have the venues, we'd never got the same acts coming through, and a lot of us used to moan.
People like to feel they've got options, and there just wasn't enough options.
I did the first Cabal in conjunction with Remedy, who were a techno night, and people would travel for them, but there wasn't really much around.
Now for me as well, you know, I was went through a big sort of dull period of where's it to go out. You know, there might be one night every 2 weeks that brings sort of credible DJs, producers, etc., artists to the city.
People are here and there might be a lot of things happening, but it's not transporting itself outside of the city. Everybody in Amsterdam seems to be proud of their city, and every idiot moving to Berlin is representing Berlin like an idiot, and I don't think that's happening in Sheffield, really.
I still do a lot of stuff with a lot of European labels. I don't really do much with many UK labels, but the ones that I have done stuff with in the past was Crosstown Rebels. They were going over to Berlin and bringing a lot of the European techno over, the sort of new minimal, what people call minimal. But in Sheffield, I was playing that for years. I had a lot of these records that I was bringing back when I'd go over to Berlin and all these places, and it never really sort of worked in Sheffield. I'd be playing DJ Kotzer and a lot of compact stuff. You know, it'd be like, what the hell is he doing? What the hell's that? You know.
The dubstep scene was quite big, started, you know, to get big, and but like in terms of house music, techno and stuff, it was very quite at its, you know, I'd say low point. You know.
Through the fact that kids have been searching for something different, they're digging more themselves, they're digging into loads of different things. Genres had been exhausted, and maybe by that time, by the end of electro, people were looking for a different way to experience music.
A lot of people are wanting to hear new stuff, so they are wanting to go out and see. They're not just going to go to the same old.
I think Sheffield can sort of get things a bit late sometimes. You could put Justus on in Manchester or London or anything, big loads of people going. You couldn't put Justus Conqueror on in Sheffield because no one knows who he is. But I mean, like, only a few people. I don't know. I think it's just very sort of like it just knows what it likes, I guess.
Once a few promoters started to take a bit of risks and actually start to put the effort and time and, you know, into the scene, people started to, you know, buy into it and actually want to go out.
We all wanted a good night to go out to. There was nothing doing, so that's why I started Cabal.
There's not a great deal to do compared to other cities, so we DIY it, and that's how you get your own sound, and that's how you get nightclubs like Cabal and producers like Ross or whatever, because it's just like we do our own thing and it's insolent.
More people just seem to get together. There seemed to be a bit of an awakening, and it's certainly an awakening within electronic music. You know, I did a few parties and other people did parties, and before you know it, there was a lot more cross-pollination.
I guess it's just like the regeneration of like electronic music. It's becoming a lot more mainstream again. Well, I say mainstream, and it's becoming a lot more popular. A lot more people are listening to it. It's just a lot more people want to go out, and that's what they want to hear on a night out.
Toddla T, he has been a massive driving force with bringing sort of an attention to the city again in terms of electronic music, and also he's revived a few of the other people.
He inspired a lot of people, a lot of youngsters, to make their own music and also to self-publicise themselves
Yeah.
and just go out there and do a night.
It was easy to get stuck in. From when I had an interest in certain things, it was just people were just around, you know. People early on was like Chris Morris, he used to let me use his studio and show me how the board worked, and Ross Orton took me to his flat. It wasn't even like they expected anything, it was just we were like-minded people, so they got involved.
It was good to see so many sort of promoters start to emerge, as well as some old school promoters, you know, come through again and kind of do the thing. Pipes, you had Chris Duckenfields through to your Winston Hazels and Rob Gordons and stuff like that, who I don't think there needs to be much said about how much they've been added to the city for 20 years ago or whatever.
Them coming to Cabal as well and seeing the possibilities, I think I like to think it inspired a lot of people.
The Cabal, that's still the reason I make the music I make today. It was mental, but it made so much sense to our environment. You know, the way it was set up, the people who would come to the party, the way the records were put together. It's kind of individual and a bit mental, but it made so much sense to Sheffield.
There was a natural buzz coming because the more parties that started to come through, the more people want to naturally go out.
It allowed the scene to develop more than what one night could offer.
House music, techno music, electro, whatever you want to call it. It's been getting really popular. I think there's a lot of the student element. You know, they've gotten into what's happening globally, and you know it's affected Sheffield, whereas before maybe it didn't so much.
People moan about Sheffield, particularly here, about oh, crap and this guy, they're not all to do. But since I stepped back and looked back in, it really is an individual place, and it's took for granted, I think, when you live here, how special that kind of energy is between everyone.
I expect craziness and I expect a good disco beatdown, but it's not really connected to Sheffield. Yet, if you ask me tomorrow, it could be totally different.